Hey guys, welcome back. I've got another Costco quilt build for you this time. Last time I built a top quilt. Now let's take a look at the under quilt that I put together. And this is for a summer build as well. Hopefully to get me to that 50, maybe probably around the 50-degree mark. The 60 by 70 when you originally first get this quilt. Now the length of it is going to be 60 inches long. I decided to use the width of it as the length. What I ended up doing is trimming all the seams going one direction, going across the hammock, and I'll show you a little better when I get it put on the hammock in the workshop there. But I went across and took all the seams going across this quilt out to kind of help it fluff up a little more. And I ended up taking and shaking all the down to one side. So that way it actually would compact that down a little more. So the way you're looking at it right now would technically be the top to bottom side, but after I pulled the seams out of the center, I ended up shaking it to one side and then trimming it to about 54 inches and then resealing it back. So that way the baffles go across my hammock and it actually condenses that down quite a bit that's in it. It is only a 650 down. And as well as the fabric's not very windproof. It is barely downproof, I will tell you that. So again, we're looking at a $15 underquilt. So I want to show you these channels real quick. Some of the channels, for what I did is I took some polymer ribbon because of the fear of the durability of this material, the fabric. I took some ribbon and actually stitched ribbon channels. I ran a seam across the top and the bottom of the ribbon, and that actually made my suspension channels. So for it to go, so that way when the shock cord is sliding back and forth, or if I'm adjusting it, it's putting more of the tension on the ribbon, the polymer ribbon, which would be significantly more durable versus the folded over fabric. And how I ran that through, I actually took the shock cord, taped it to one end of this dowel rod, and just slid it through the channel until I got it all the way. And that worked beautifully. It made it so much easier to get the shock cord ran all the way through. Now I did use a 3/32 shock cord along with, on the suspension, these tiny little hooks I found on Amazon, and I'll put a link to them in the description. But that hook, I was really concerned that it was going to be big enough to actually fit over the continuous loop, but it does fit barely. If it was a cold weather, I would not want to use this because it'd be too difficult to get off with your hands freezing. So, but for a summer quilt, it'll work just fine. On the ends, I did do the same thing. I made a cinching shock cord on the end, that way to kind of cinch up the ends to stop that air from coming in and to make it fully adjustable on all four sides of the quilt. So and just the same technique there. I used the ribbon, polymer ribbon on the outside there, along with the 3/32 shock cord, and then these cord locks to help with the cinch. So alright, let's take a look and see what it looks like on the hammock. Alright, so this is the Costco underquilt that's on the netless Dutchware hammock. You can see, again, the cinch system on the ends. It'll snug up to it really well, and then it's actually got some really good loft because of taking those seams out of the center and just running those baffles across. It really gives you that option to shake some of that down and migrate your down to the bottom of your underquilt as well. So that was the whole purpose of running it that way. And then as well, it is 3/4 length. With the weight of it, it actually weighs a little over 15 ounces. So I'm sure it's probably a little heavier because of the polymer straps that I added to it. But I think for being a 3/4, you're still under a pound, should work pretty well. I've actually laid in it in 41 degrees without a tarp, in a t-shirt. and actually the wind was blowing so strong it was pretty much rocking the hammock. But it would have been cold for an overnight, but you could actually tell it was performing a little better than what I expected. But it is fully adjustable on the suspension. You can adjust it how you wish, and actually doesn't slide too bad. I think that polymer ribbon kind of helps that out a lot. So, but just a quick look at a quick creation. So can't wait to try it out. So I hope everybody has a great holiday season. So we'll see you on the trail.